Welcome, viewers. I'm your host, Janiser Ahmed, bringing to your doorstep hot and sizzling news not only from the US but around the world. Today, I have Mr. Noor Tofader in the studio. I'm very grateful to him that he has joined me for the discussion. Thank you, Mr. Noor. Really grateful to you for taking out time.
Thank you,
Um,
Mr. Janiser.
yeah.
Thank you for your very nice show,
Mm.
Fair and Balance.
So, the entire gun movement is getting out of control of the politicians. The students, they have been staging walkouts from the schools all across the US, not only in Florida but everywhere. I mean, thousands of, if not tens of thousands of school kids, they are out on the streets. They have been marching right up to the Pennsylvania Avenue, knocking on the doors, corridors of power, and parents have been crying, President, how many more kids have to die before you take any step? Is the Congress or the POTUS going to take any step?
Mr. Janiser, uh, for your viewers, Millennium TV viewers, they can watch around the world what is going on our world. President Donald Trump, today he called all school, the Falkland school teacher and student to the White House for the lunch. And he televised the almost 70 minutes voice with them, talk with them.
Okay.
But finally, he finalized they have to make some kind of background check
Mm-hmm.
and they have to have some kind of law. The school, college, any institute, gun free zone, also shopping center.
Yeah, what the proposed legislation includes a ban on AR-15, mm, and bringing down and bringing up the age uh, where you can buy a gun. Also, the waiting period has been increased, will be increased with the age restriction. These are the proposed
Well,
changes.
one thing our city of New York, we see in the school, they have some kind of metal detector, security check,
Mhm.
school, college, university, but not outside, you know. But they are going to do that. It's like a TSA, you know. So
It has to be like that. I
uh,
mean,
President proposed that
yeah,
they have to be like that.
yeah.
So right now, probably it's going to be passed. Federal government going to be supply,
Mm.
and president going to be give the special order for the AR-15 and machine gun have to be make for not make for the general public,
Mhm.
only for army, for the army, navy, police, not for general public.
Right. But the overall question is, will the US choose its children over guns?
Uh, Very nice question. Used to
Mm-hmm.
NRA and right wing media,
Mm-hmm.
they are saying their Second Amendment. This
Yeah.
is their very lovely topic.
Mm-hmm.
Second Amendment for who? For us, general public, and gun for also us. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So government, federal government, Congress, Senate, White House, if they making any kind of amendment, and they can do it. This is the way president gonna do right now. So probably President Donald Trump, he have some grudge with NRA, and
He has a grudge with the NRA?
he have some
Well,
grudge.
there is at least one point. The fact remains that Mr. Trump, he happens to be incredibly rich. He's incredibly wealthy person, right? And he does not need anyone's money for that matter to contest election. What do you think? I mean, except for political pressure, he does not need anyone's money to run for the office. I mean, this is the
This is,
core idea on which he ran
uh,
for the election and
uh,
defeated Clinton.
this is one thing. Other thing, truth thing, he talk right the way. He don't care
Mm,
politics,
mhm,
left or right,
mhm,
Democrat or Republican. Whatever the right things
yeah.
or truth things, he tell the right the way.
But why is he being appears to be hesitant at this time around? I mean, if there was anyone who was not beholden to the NRA, would have slapped a complete ban on gun sales, on
Exactly, he
automatic
is
weapons.
not.
Why is he not taking any step
Exactly.
like?
Listen, still he is talking. He is talking.
Mm,
He is making some point.
yeah,
He is making public.
yeah.
Public cannot have a AR-15,
Mm.
and public
But the parents are still crying, President. What? How many more children have to die before you like do some revolutionary measures?
state. He put those things in the state.
Mm,
State have to do that.
mm,
Then federal government gonna do.
mm,
So he gonna make his rule of law
mm,
special order.
yeah.
So probably state have to do their part.
States have to do its part, but also we are forgetting the fact that this time around, the Republicans, the party of the president, they happen to be in majority. They control both the houses. They are they control the I mean they are in the Supreme Court. So the Republicans
They are everywhere.
they no they control the house, so that means something, because President Obama, while he was like, whenever there would be a shooting, he would, tears would well down his face, and that would be the end of it. There would be no legislation because of uh, the lawmakers and the divided house, the Democrats not being in majority. But this time around, they can, turn the tables around.
But he try. He gonna do it.
So you are hopeful.
Yeah, they're gonna do it.
Mhm.
They're gonna do it. Tonight, few senator and president and some other people, they're gonna have a meeting with the NRA
Mhm. Okay.
this evening in Florida.
Yeah, you have to come down hard on them. You have
You
to
know,
tell them that, hold on, and now is the time when, you should listen to us and let us protect our homeland and let us protect our kids. You don't care, any two hoots about our safety or security, because all you are. I mean, I don't want to say it, but another important like subject related to it is some of the lawmakers. They have also been diverting attention towards the fact that the culture of violence perpetrated by video games and the popular culture as evinced and seen in the Hollywood and movies, that also is to be held accountable for ongoing violence and the school shootings.
uh, this is one of the good things, good point also. The thing have to be stopped. The all theater, drama, or cartoon with fighting,
Mhm.
they have to be stopped. They have to make education way. They have to make some other way. So kids cannot learn with this kind of
I mean, when you
arms and
when you
ammunition.
turn to your tablet, it's an action game that you are playing. When you turn on the TV, it's a Hollywood flick going on with the massacre going on, and I mean that's the pop culture that is to be held accountable for to a certain extent. But the fact remains that not all people are same. Not all children think the same way. So there is the point. I mean, some people could get affected by playing violent video games or seeing violent movies, and some people might not. So that is not as easy a question as it appears right now, and people would have to look into it. But I think this is responsible for how you breed violence in society.
Our drama maker, cinema maker, theater maker, everyone have to be on their avenue. They have to make for us. They have to make for our children. who they are making. They are making for good things or bad things. So we
I'm sorry to cut you. I have a question. Um, do the killings happen anywhere else? School shootings in the world?
not like a United States.
Are you sure?
Yeah, some part of Australia is happened couple of years ago, but they banned their
No, it was in 1996. It
yeah
was a
and
mass shooting carried out by an adult, and then Howard came forward, and all the legislators they bought all the guns back, spent like 6 million Australian dollars, even more, destroyed all the guns. The story ended. I
some
mean, there was only one thing. There was no NRA over there.
exactly. So I don't see anywhere in that
Yeah,
world.
exactly. I mean, this is why
Only
people are screaming on the streets right now. Parents are yelling. I mean, the NRA is after. I mean, it's not common sense. It's insanity. It doesn't appeal to your sense to have such proliferation of guns in the society where your kid can pick up a gun from the shelf, step into school, and
United States is right now multicultural. NRA, they are taking those opportunity
mhm, yeah, exactly.
and they making their money those opportunity.
I mean, like
You know,
it shows the extent of its power. So we will be taking a break. Viewers, we will be taking a short break. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in a while. Welcome back to the show, viewers. We are having a very interesting discussion. Mr. Noor is laying bare the intricacies of politics and whatnot. So, Mr. Noor, moving on to the North Korean peninsula, what's happening? Analysts are predicting that there's going to be a war by April because the United States and South Korea, they are going to have one of the biggest military exercises in the history ever. And North has already warned both the countries not to do it because it considers those activities as against its sovereignty and security. And North Korean leaders have continuously been telling the South Koreans that if you do it, there's going to be a war.
not try to live with South together these days. These days,
These days, yeah,
these
yeah,
days, this Winter Olympic
yeah, exactly,
is came
hmm,
for North Korean is like a heaven.
exactly,
Now, not thinking they don't want to miss this opportunity. So, not try to be
exactly.
get their help with the South, not calling for the peace with the South. And South, Mr. Moon, President, he called last night that he gonna sit down anywhere, any place, anytime.
I think he's a very sensible person. He seems like a very level-headed person. What do you
Exactly.
think?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we can pin the hopes on him in order to avert the tension.
World, world community, mainstream media, and whatever we see and we saw, we say, but if they both live together, they try to solve their own, nothing is problem, you know. But but people saying, mainstream media saying, China helping everything is not for the cyber
Mhm,
to rocket,
mhm.
cyber to rocket.
Yeah,
So
because China
you know,
thinks that we have to keep North under our as our like a bulldog kind of to scare the people away. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
I mean, this looks like it's China's uh, you
backyard.
know backyard, underbelly, whatever you may like to call it. China wants North Korea as to be on its side, not to be on its side, but to keep supporting it so that it can make the threats which it could not.
United States, UN, they put so many embargo. Nothing is work.
Right.
Nothing is work with the North. They are surviving.
Mm.
They are eating their food. So, see,
Exactly. All right. So on this point, I'll correct you. A new report has come up, probably in the mainstream U.S. media, saying that North Korea, it has run out of its cash flow. It will run out of its cash by in a couple of months, by October. They're saying there'll be no cash available to the regime.
if they do not have a cash flow, how they going to be millions of people? How they going to be survived?
It's saying the cash flow for the regime.
Probably they're going to survive no matter what with the China. China try to help them,
I mean,
But
China is of course is a
yeah,
regional part,
it is
but
but if
North
not
Korea.
if China do not help
Mm,
at this time,
mm.
North have to be come on the table.
But North also, I mean, why I view this report with skepticism is the fact that North, whatever somebody is saying, North could still raise massive revenue through its own people.
Yeah,
I mean, they can rip their skins apart, collect the tax or whatever through by starving them, which it already is doing, stealing money from them. I mean, this is what is happening. They don't have enough to eat. They are starving. If you look at somebody's, face, facial expression, their physical like condition, you'll notice that they do not have a balanced life.
their structure is weak.
I mean, they are like it's pathetic. Whatever is happening.
North, if they do not make a peace in world community, they cannot play with the world community.
Do you
United,
think? Yeah, you are right. Do you think there will be like escalation after the U.S. and South carries out the military exercises in April? Because
eh,
North is very angry at that.
uh, Janiser, this young boy, whatever we say, this he's look like an intelligence guy.
The
Okay,
the
not
fat, the little rocket fat guy,
North Korean president.
the rocket.
Yeah, he's look like an intelligence man. Last time he put the games like United States, North Korea, South Korea almost fight each other.
Mm.
All of a sudden, next day he say something, everything is work out. I don't know what happened in the month of April. If deal, he made good deal on the table, probably
Mm.
his cash flow is not going to be run, and people have a food, and his regime going to be have a food.
There
Everything
was
is
there
the
was there was a report that the Russians, their the missiles that they have, which can carry the nuclear payload, it was like manufactured with Russian help, like with Russian technology, and they are very like potent.
Russian technology, also Russian engineer. CIA found there are few they found Russian and Chinese engineer. You
So the
know,
technology is quite
yeah,
dangerous.
of course.
Also, there was a report saying that behind the scenes, a meeting was scheduled between Vice President Pence and the sister of the Rocket Man, and it was called off at the 11th hour because the North Koreans, they did not want to talk.
Probably their diplomacy, whatever they need, they do not get it.
But Vice President Pence stated that he, while sitting next to the sister, deliberately ignored her.
This is politics. This is politics. Whatever they need, probably they United States, we do not get it. You know, so blame have to be both sides, not on one side. Um, you know, someone have to be sacrificed. If he is not sacrificed, nothing is going to be happen.
Right. Right. So moving on, a very strange and a little bit funny news has come up in UK media saying that Jeremy Corbyn, he was in collusion with the Russians during the Cold War. At the time, Margaret Thatcher was in power, and so it turns out that the Russians, they are quite capable of manipulating foreign governments through cloak and dagger kind of operations.
Margaret Thatcher is power is end of the 70s and early 80s. That time, Jeremy, if they did that time, my gosh, Russian probably they are intelligence for these things long time.
Mm-hmm.
They knows what they are doing.
Exactly.
Probably they are intellectual for this subject,
Yeah.
this cyber attack long time ago. European, so many countries they have election right now.
Mm.
Italy and some other countries, Poland or some other place, they are scared right now. They scared in Russian.
Mm.
They can attack cyber attack. Every country they are serious about United States of America. What is going on?
Everyone wants to lobby with the center of power, and
Exactly.
this is where the Russians got it wrong. They went about it the wrong way. So I mean, it's very like serious because reports are coming in that the Russians are alleged to have made some kind of plans for interfering in the midterm elections.
Spy agency, they working, they are watching, also they are working. They are not. You know, they did. They cannot.
Mm-hmm.
They thinking their guy on the White House is wrong. He don't have any power. Body is Senate and Congress.
All right. So moving on. Reports of more casualties have come from the Middle East, from Syria, and reportedly more than 200 people, innocent people, civilians, they have died. I mean, this is all collateral damage resulting from the, from an equation that now seems to be out of anyone's control.
Syrian government they killing their own people.
The world community, so to speak, it is itself meddling in the Syrian affairs. Iran, all the countries, I don't want to go on with the list.
Yeah, they are.
Iran, for one, is trying to build
Oh,
its corridor right up till
you know
Israel in order to support some troublemakers.
exactly. Whatever they did, they are genociding Syrian people. They have to go World Criminal Court. People have a justice. The guy Assad have to go, and they can have a democracy. People can have a democracy. People can have some food. They can have a peace. They can have a lovely life.
I mean, different countries are fighting their proxy wars. It's asymmetrical warfare going on. Israel and Iran, they seems to be, at odds and fighting their own uh, game. And then you have Kurds, the
And Turkey,
Turkey. Turkey doesn't like the Kurds, and they want to kick them out. And I mean, it's even impossible to keep track of how many players are in the equation right
for what reason they do these things? God is knows. God is best.
I think it
Uh,
started because the Syrian government did not respect the will of its people. There were demonstrations, and the Syrian government, it came down very hard on those protesters, and eventually it backfired, and it just grew out of proportion, and there were like tens of thousands of people on the road and protesting against Assad, and this is how it all started. It allowed the foreign powers.
People's right, they cannot get it in Syria. So world community, they have to do something for the peoples of Syria. If they don't, peoples is die. That's all.
Right.
All
So
all Muslim people, the Arabian Peninsula, they are they are not a human. I don't know what kind of human being they are.
yeah, because they continue to kill each other in the
Ex-
name of religion
exactly.
because of different sects. They would not like to talk to anybody who happens to be from a different sect. They would kill them, shoot them down. This is what is happening in Syria,
Syria,
Middle East, Yemen.
Yemen, last how many years they killing each other. Saudi Arabia, you know. Anyway, we hope these people
I
gonna be
think
having
there was
peace.
something. What was his name? British intelligence officer. What was his name? Lawrence of Arabia. Do you remember his name? I don't think. What was T. E. Lawrence?
Okay.
I think, yeah, he was called Lawrence of Arabia. So Lawrence, Colonel Lawrence, he was a major, but he got out of turn promotion because of his his efficiency and his intellect. T. E. Lawrence stated he was telling some kind of Middle Eastern prince. He was sitting right next to him, and he told him that, listen, as long as the Middle Easterns, the Arabs, they continue to fight within amongst each other, they continue to raise guns against each other, they will remain petty and small people, and the world will continue to take advantage of them. So that advice still holds true.
Now is social network time. You know, everywhere people, they see each other, they can say each other,
Exactly.
they can do each other. Now they they cannot stop. And Bangladesh, they have a language day, mother tongue. So all Bangladeshi around the world, we are respecting our mother tongue, and everywhere in the world, peoples of Bangladesh, they respect our mother tongue. So who die for this mother tongue, we are pray for them, we are respect for them. Hope coming days the they're going to be our heritage.
Right. Thank you very much. Viewers, we thank you for watching the show. As usual, it was about different goings on, not only in the US but around the world, from Syria to South Asia. But we would like you to continue watching the show. This is Janiser Ahmed signing off from your very own, your favorite show, Fair and Balanced. Saying goodbye to you with Mr. Noor Tofader. Until the next show, good night.
Thank you.